Imagine January 1st, 2025, a day that begins like any other ordinary day, but becomes a significant turning point in your life. What if this is the moment when your true strength and potential are awakened? The stars in the sky seem to shine brightly and call your name, ready to reveal all the secrets and hidden power within you. Are you ready to listen to their call? Leo, this is the moment when the universe will open doors you never thought possible. Something truly magnificent, extraordinary, and dazzling, worthy of your majesty and position, awaits you. For Leo, this is not just another day on the calendar, but a moment marking a remarkable breakthrough in your life's journey. It is an opportunity to affirm your position, shine brighter, and take full control of your destiny. Are you ready to embrace your glorious fate? This moment is right in front of you, waiting for you to step forward and claim it. The only question is, do you have the courage to walk through the door of destiny? On January 1st, 2025, a rare astrological event will illuminate the path meant just for Leo. Jupiter, the planet of fortune, and Venus, the planet of love and wealth, will intersect in a powerful and unique alignment, unlocking doors to wealth, fame, and personal success. This is no ordinary conjunction. It is a pivotal moment crafted specifically for you, a shining sign of creativity, power, and influence. Why is this event so remarkable? Because alignments like this occur only once in several decades, and this time, it is designed exclusively for Leo. Think of it as a beautiful cosmic dance of planets orchestrated to empower you, the one born to lead and shine. It is a strong affirmation from the universe that you are on the right path to greatness. Destiny is signaling that this is your time to act. The universe's green light is shining brightly for you, Leo. This moment not only unveils new horizons, but also helps you recognize all the valuable opportunities you may have overlooked before. This is not the time for hesitation. This is the time for you, with your unwavering confidence and the determination of a true leader, to step forward and seize the fortune the universe has reserved for you. Don't let this opportunity pass by. It is the milestone that will lead you to the magnificence you truly deserve. January 1st, 2025 will not just be an ordinary day on the calendar, but will become a pivotal moment, marking a complete transformation in your financial destiny, Leo. With your innate strength and ambition, you are always someone who sets high goals and strives tirelessly to achieve them. Imagine this. From this moment forward, the old financial cycle, with its limitations and challenges, will come to an end. In its place, a new, more powerful mechanism for cash flow and success will activate, bringing you abundant and stable income. What once seemed impossible will now become a reality. Money will come from sources you never imagined, as if falling from the sky. You might receive an unexpected large order, a favorable deal, or a long-awaited offer. It could also be a surprising partnership with someone you once knew, who now returns with a valuable project or idea. These changes are not mere coincidences, but the result of the cosmic forces aligning specifically for you. The stars are joining forces to create a new financial flow, brimming with energy and opportunity. Moreover, you will attract the attention and support of influential individuals in society who recognize your potential and are willing to invest in or collaborate with you. Perhaps you'll receive a significant investment from a powerful figure or be invited to join a highly lucrative project. This is not just a temporary chance, but a stepping stone towards long-term stability and prosperity. Major doors will open, leading you to enormous financial prospects that you once only dreamed of. The universe is not only granting you fortune, it is aligning the perfect timing for you to act. You will not only be lucky, but will find yourself in the right place at the right time, ready to seize the most extraordinary opportunities. Money will flow towards you at an astonishing pace, like an unstoppable rushing stream. This is the time when all the hard work you've poured into your future will begin to bear fruit. Your diligence and determination, which may have previously been underestimated, will now be rewarded with the financial prosperity that lies within your reach. Leo, this is not just random luck, but a recognition from the universe that you deserve the very best. You will realize that everything you've done, the bold decisions, the courageous steps, has led to this moment. Seize this opportunity, for this is not the time to hesitate. Do not let these doors close without stepping through them, as each door holds immense potential that you cannot afford to miss. This is your moment, Leo. January 1st, 2025 is not just the beginning of a new year, but the start of a journey where every possibility is open to you. Step forward with confidence, courage, and the brilliance that defines you, and embrace the incredible future that awaits. Success doesn't come solely from luck, but also from courage and decisiveness. With the heart of a leader, you, Leo, are ready to rise to a new height. Trust that you have the power to take control and steer your life in the direction you desire. January 1st, 2025 is not just the start of a new year, but the beginning of a new chapter filled with prosperity and power in your life. Are you ready, Leo? Step up and take charge of your destiny. January 1st, 2025 marks the beginning of a radiant new chapter in your life, Leo. With your unwavering energy and determination, you have spent years working tirelessly, dedicating yourself to building your career path. Now, all that effort will start to pay off. From the very start of the year, you will feel a new surge of energy propelling your career forward, like a snowball rolling down a hill, growing larger and gaining momentum. The speed of your success will increase rapidly, and doors you once thought were closed will now open wide to welcome you. This is not just a simple promotion, but a true leap forward, elevating you to new heights in your professional journey. You might be appointed to a position you've long desired, or take on a challenging yet prestigious new role. This will be a pivotal moment, not only solidifying your self-worth, but also redefining your professional trajectory for the future. The tasks you've completed, the achievements that might have previously gone unnoticed, will now be recognized and valued for their true worth. You will receive the recognition you deserve, not just from colleagues, but from influential figures in your field. Moreover, January 1st, 2025 will also mark an important time in your social relationships. You will find yourself at the center of significant events where valuable connections are forged. The people you meet during this time will bring opportunities to participate in grand projects that have the potential to completely transform your career path. They will not just be collaborators, but influential individuals with groundbreaking ideas, playing a key role in your continued success. Connecting with these people will serve as a launchpad for you to reach even greater heights and achieve extraordinary accomplishments. On this journey, you will enter a circle of powerful individuals who can use their relationships and influence to elevate you to new levels. However, challenges from competitors will arise to test your resolve. But as a strong and determined Leo, you won't just face these challenges, you will overcome them with conviction. With your natural confidence and talent, you will establish yourself as an indispensable figure in your field. Success will no longer be a distant dream, but something firmly within your grasp. Breaking out into music, Cass met with moderate success. She formed two bands between 1962 and 1964, the Big Three, and later the Mugwumps. In fact, it was while singing with the Mugwumps that she met Denny Doherty, the man she would follow to the ends of the earth. In the first cruel twist to her romantic life, however, she became unexpectedly unavailable. Even though Cass was in love with Doherty, she ended up getting hitched to another one of her bandmates. In 1963, Cass married her Mugwumps guitarist, James Hendricks. There wasn't any love between the two. The marriage was a simple arrangement to help Hendricks dodge the draft. Because her marriage was a sham, Cass knew that her only real tie to Hendricks was their band. So after 8 months, the Mugwumps split up, and Cass struck out on her own, hoping that Doherty would follow her. Instead, however, he joined the New Journeymen, a band that consisted of the husband and wife duo John and Michelle Phillips. Cass was willing to do anything to get into the new band. Doherty had so far rebuffed Cass as a lover because of her weight, but he couldn't deny her talent. And he knew that she was the missing ingredient in the New Journeymen. But John Phillips didn't want to let Cass in the band. Apparently, he thought that her voice was too deep for his arrangements. In private, however, he was singing a different tune. Publicly, Phillips stated that Cass's voice wasn't right for the New Journeymen. Behind closed doors, he was extremely critical of her appearance. Phillips believed that Cass was simply too heavy to join the group. Her already shaky confidence could barely handle the truth. Throughout her life and career, Cass faced society's unfair beauty standards. In a time that celebrated wafer-thin women like Audrey Hepburn, Cass felt that she didn't stand a chance. Despite John Phillips' repeated refusals, Cass was desperate to join the new journeyman to get closer to Doherty. According to Michelle Phillips, Cass even followed the band around everywhere they went. What they put her through was downright cruel. As she followed them around, the new journeyman treated Cass even worse than they would have treated an annoying groupie. They ordered her around, forced her to serve them drinks, and even teased her by allowing her to rehearse with them, but not perform. However, fortunately for Cass, the tables were about to turn dramatically in her favor. The new journeyman had a habit of putting good times ahead of their music, spending more money on substances than on anything else. Eventually, they ran out of money and had to turn to the only person they knew who would take them in, Cass. Desperate for a roof over their heads, they turned up at Cass's Los Angeles home, and she made them an offer they couldn't refuse. When the new journeyman showed up on Cass's doorstep, she saw an opportunity to finally get what she wanted. Reportedly, Cass took advantage of the group's dire situation. Whether he liked her size or not, John Phillips had to agree to let Cass into the band, or sleep on the streets. But there's another version of the story of how Cass came to be in the band. For years, the official story was that it was fate, and not poor money management, that brought Cass and the new journeyman together. According to this version of events, Cass had accompanied the new journeyman on a trip to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. While there, she was walking under a construction site when a pipe fell on her head. Cass was knocked off her feet, and the supposed head injury unbelievably caused her to sing in the higher register that John Phillips had been looking for. The crazy pipe to the head story was likely just Cass's way of covering up the embarrassing truth. Decades later, sources close to the band revealed that Phillips didn't want it leaking out to their fans that he had essentially fat-shamed Cass out of joining. Whatever the truth, Cass was finally in the band. After some late-night inspiration, they renamed themselves the Mamas and the Papas. Then the good times started to roll. With Cass's vocals, the band recorded huge hits like California Dreamin' and Monday Monday. But even though she was in the band, the teasing about her weight didn't stop. In fact, it got worse. John and Michelle Phillips, along with Doherty, openly mocked Cass's weight in the lyrics of their songs. For example, in the band's hit song Creek Alley, they wrote the lyrics, "No one's getting fat except Mama Cass." The insulting lyrics struck a chord with their fans, and much to Cass's dismay, the nickname Mama Cass stuck. Then, one of her bandmates crossed a line. Cass had really only joined the Mamas and the Papas because of her unrequited love for Doherty. Sadly, while Cass had been pining over him, he'd been lusting over someone else. In fact, the object of her affection had started up an affair with the object of her jealousy, Michelle Phillips. When Doherty told her that he was having an affair with Phillips, Cass was left utterly heartbroken and full of envious rage. The betrayal left her crestfallen. She lamented to Phillips, "You can have any man in the world. Why take the one man I love?" Even after Doherty had told Cass about the affair, she still held out hope that one day he might grow to love her. Decades later, Doherty revealed that Cass had proposed to him one night, but that he hadn't answered because he'd been too intoxicated. She buried her woes with the Mamas and the Papas into her music and a dangerous amount and array of substances, which led to some wild behavior. In 1967, Cass traveled to London ahead of her bandmates for a scheduled performance. But before long, she found herself on the wrong side of the law. The local London authorities detained Cass for having pilfered bed linens from the apartment she was staying in. There were rumors, however, that they really wanted her for something far more serious. One of Cass's many alleged lovers was a man named Pick Dawson, but she wasn't the only one interested in Dawson, so were the local authorities. In addition to possibly being Cass's lover, he was also her supplier. The authorities in London wanted to use the accusations against Cass in order to get to Dawson. she spent a whole night behind bars in London, possibly facing serious charges. However, after she appeared before the magistrate, the authorities dropped the charges against her for lack of evidence. Nevertheless, the bad press forced the band to cancel their scheduled performance. Her days with the Mamas and the Papas were coming to an abrupt end, with nothing but with a broken heart and insulting lyrics to show for her time with the band. Cass thought about moving on. With the success of her solo recording of Dream a Little Dream of Me, Cass left the Mamas and the Papas and struck out on her own. Shortly after the band's breakup, she landed a major gig at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. It was a 3-week, 6-figure deal that would have made Cass the breakout star from the broken-up band. Now a solo act, Cass felt the pressure to slim down more intensely than ever. To prepare for her big Las Vegas debut, she adopted a dangerous crash diet. She fasted for 4 days a week for 7 months and lost 1/3 of her 300 pounds. Unfortunately for her, the consequences were painful. The diet slimmed her down significantly, but in a cruel twist, it came at a terrible price: her health. In the weeks leading up to her first Las Vegas show, Cass developed acute tonsillitis, hemorrhaging vocal cords, mononucleosis, and a dangerous case of hepatitis, all thanks to her extreme eating habits. She was ill-prepared for what came next. Massive stars like Sammy Davis Jr., Jimi Hendrix, and Mia Farrow turned up in Las Vegas to watch Cass's big debut. But thanks to her health conditions, she had barely even rehearsed a single lyric. When Cass finally took to the stage for her first performance, she left the audience gobsmacked, but not in a good way. The star-studded crowd eagerly awaited her debut as a solo artist. Nervously, Cass stepped onto the stage and fumbled her way through the performance. She was so weak from her illnesses that her voice was barely audible. Cass's contract stipulated that she would perform 2 shows a night. After a quick rest, she tried to salvage the show with her second performance, but her voice only got worse and the crowd only grew less sympathetic. The disappointed audience noisily walked out, and Caesar's Palace had no choice but to cancel Cass's contract. Then they added insult to injury. When the sun rose on her disastrous performances, the media was unforgiving. Newsweek compared Cass's Vegas debut to the sinking of the Titanic. She fell into a deep depression, but thankfully had one bright spot in her life. Just before she signed her Las Vegas contract, Cass had given birth to a healthy baby girl, Owen. Despite the troubles in her love life and career, Cass was obsessed with being a good mother. She guarded her daughter fiercely, even firing nannies who grew too close. To protect her reputation and her child's privacy, she kept the news out of the headlines. More importantly, when the media found out about her child, Cass staunchly refused to identify the father. That didn't stop the media from speculating wildly. However, there were even darker rumors that followed Cass throughout her career. Cass hosted legendary Hollywood parties with all the biggest stars and some terrible ones as well. Legend has it that Cass hosted, on at least one occasion, the notorious cult leader Charles Manson and his associates at her house. It's unclear how close she was to Manson, but she was close enough to make some people look at her differently. After Manson's horrific and brutal massacre, John Phillips pointed the finger at Cass. He blamed her for having invited Manson and his followers into their group. He even blamed Cass for the grisly slaughter that ended Sharon Tate's life. Thankfully, the authorities didn't agree with Phillips' assessment. With her Las Vegas flop, Cass's solo career stalled, but she spent the next few years making regular television appearances. She even had her own television variety specials, the Mama Cass television program and Don't Call Me Mama Anymore. In her heart, however, Cass longed for more than just a middling career. She wanted the one thing that had always eluded her: love. When she least expected it, she found it. In 1971, Cass finally met someone to call her own. It's not clear how she met Donald von Wiedenmann, a journalist and heir to a Bavarian barony, but it must have been love at first sight. And divorce at second sight. After just 2 months, the marriage was over as quickly as it had begun. Cass Elliot continued her dangerous dieting habits, but by 1974, it caught up with her. While waiting backstage at the Johnny Carson show, she unexpectedly collapsed. Medical staff rushed her to the hospital, but she waved the incident away as mere exhaustion. My blood sugar level dropped or something, and I just sort of tipped over. But everything was okay, yeah, everything was fine, she said, ignoring the warning signs of her declining health. After her collapse at the Johnny Carson show, she wrapped up 2 weeks of concerts at the London Palladium. Then, without taking so much as a catnap, she kicked off her post-show celebrations with Mick Jagger's 31st birthday party at his place in Chelsea. Cass left Mick Jagger's party and went to a brunch hosted by Georgia Brown in her honor. However, much to everyone's dismay, Cass appeared unwell, blowing her nose frequently, coughing, and having trouble breathing. Nevertheless, later that evening, she went to another party hosted by American entertainment journalist Jack Martin. Her appearance there, however, left everyone confused. Wherever she went, Cass was always the life of the party. At Martin's party, however, life appeared to have left her. Even though everyone commented that she seemed to be in good spirits, her sickly-looking appearance had everyone concerned. Cass again chalked it up to exhaustion and decided to head home for the night. It would be her final public appearance. Cass returned home to an apartment owned by Harry Nilsson in the affluent Mayfair neighborhood. However, when Cass failed to emerge from her room the next day, her secretary became suspicious. When he finally opened her bedroom door, he was left devastated. He found her lifeless in her bed. She died of an apparent heart attack. Predictably, the rumor mill concocted its own version of events. Before long, everyone was viciously reporting that Cass had choked while eating a ham sandwich, an obvious smear against her long-standing struggle with obesity. 4 years later, The Who drummer Keith Moon also died in the same bedroom, also at the age of 32. After her passing, Cass's daughter went to live with the singer's younger sister, Leah. It wasn't until years later, however, that Michelle Phillips, of all people, finally solved the mystery of Cass's unknown lover and Owen's father. The father was Chuck Day, the second guitarist on the hit songs Monday, Monday, and California Dreamin'. In October 2022, Cass was given a posthumous and long-overdue star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, attended by her family and friends, including her mama's and papa's bandmate Michelle Phillips. In a time when fat phobia was so normalized that people would make degrading comments right to her face in front of millions of people, Cass was always going to struggle more than most to be taken seriously and gain the kind of recognition her talent deserved. Now, here is a big lady, bigger in the United States than she is here, people once said. Cass Elliot was an example of the sheer presence and power of her voice. When the Mamas and the Papas reunited for their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998, they performed California Dreamin', and they had to have 3 backing singers just to try and make up for Cass's absence. They did not succeed.